Good evening, welcome to
MathPractice157.
Math Practice number 157. Who do we have visiting our math practice tonight?
Some sponsors.
Some sponsorers?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what those are. Am I too old to understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, well this is a cool problem that we did today, or actually that you did today, right?
Yeah.
And the neat thing about it was we used a technique we learned from this awesome teacher in California named Fawn Nguyen. And I'm really happy that I've actually learned something from all the math stuff on Twitter just in the last couple weeks. So that was really cool.
Yep.
You ready to talk about the problem?
Okay.
4 congruent rectangles, each with a perimeter of 12, are arranged as shown. What is the perimeter of the big square they make? Okay, so we have these 4 rectangles, and we're trying to find the perimeter of the big square that they make, right? Mm-hmm. And what's the only thing we know about these rectangles? Actually, we know 2 things about them.
Well, the perimeter is 12.
Their perimeter is 12.
And if you minus some sides and add the side lengths, you get the perimeter.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about how to get the perimeter. But the other thing we know is they're all the same, right? Yeah. So I didn't necessarily draw them all the same. And you were kind of stuck a little bit on this problem on what to do, right?
Yeah.
So what was the suggestion? What did we have you do?
Well, we made some rectangles just like those, and we figured out the problem.
Okay, great. Now, how did you figure out what rectangle sizes to make? You knew the perimeter was 12, right?
Well, there could only be 2 choices: 5 and 1, 4 and 2, because it could be 3 and 3 because it was a square. That's a square. Okay.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, so why don't you arrange these 5 by 1 rectangles into the shape that we have. So you made these 5 by 1 rectangles, and that was pretty cool.
I think it went like that.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. So that made a nice big square. And what was the perimeter of this square?
It was 24.
It was 24. Okay, and then you made some 3 by 2s.
4 by 2. 4
by 2s. I'm sorry. You want to arrange those into the same shape for me?
Okay.
Here, let me just move that one out of the way. Okay, so arrange those 4 by 2s into the same shape.
And then we got that square.
And then we got this square. And what was the perimeter of this square?
It was 24 too.
It was also 24. Well, that's interesting. So it seemed like either way we did it, we got a perimeter of 24, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think we can figure out why that happens?
Well, 5 and 1, 4 and 2 both equal to 6.
5 and 1 and 4 and 2 both equal to 6.
And 6 plus 4 is 24.
Well, not 6 plus 4. How do you find that?
6 times 4.
6 times 4 is 24. So what we knew was that we had a rectangle, and one side was x and the other side was y.
Yep.
And so what's the perimeter of this?
It's x times y.
Oh, that's the area. What's the perimeter? What does perimeter mean?
It's the distance around the outside of the shape.
Yeah, it's the distance around the outside of the shape. So what's the perimeter?
It's x times 2 plus y times 2.
X times 2 plus y times 2. Very good. Okay. So we know that 2x plus 2y equals 12, right? Because the perimeter of this was 12. That's what we were told. Now let's see, when we look at our rectangles, if we can find where the x's and the y's are. So the short side is x and the long side is y. So what's this little short bit here? It's
x.
X. What's this long bit here?
Y.
Because I want to know how long it is.
Y.
What's this short bit here?
X.
X. What's this long bit?
Y.
Well, because I want to know what it is.
Y.
What's this short bit?
X.
What's this long bit?
Y.
What's this short bit?
X.
What's this long bit?
Y.
All right, very good. Now, how far is it all the way around the square, the outside of the square? How many x's and how many y's?
There's 4 x's and 4 y's.
Okay, so we've got to figure out what 4x plus 4y equals. Well, if we know 2x plus 2y equals 12, how are we going to figure out what 4x plus 4y equals?
Well, it's going to equal 24.
Why?
Because it's 2 times 12.
2 times 12, because 2x times 2 is 4x, and 2y times 2 is 4y. So we just do 2 times 12, which is?
24.
24. So no matter what x and y are, it actually ends up being 24. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So did you learn a lot from cutting those shapes out?
Yeah.
Is that a fun problem?
Yeah.
So we say thanks to Fawn Nguyen?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and say thank you.
Thanks.